All right, well, I'm Ben, and I'll read a few poems. I'm working with a collection. It'll probably be maybe a chapbook, a shortish collection of poems about the economy, money, capitalism. And it sounds really boring, actually, when I say it that way. but I'm interested in this idea that things that happen in distant places can affect us by trickling down into the economy and causing jobs to go to overseas, causing our bank accounts to shrink, our retirement, and so forth. So I was actually looking for a job during the recession, and like 30% of the jobs that I applied to just disappeared in October 2008 rather. And so it was kind of a scary time. So I think that's probably in my consciousness as I write some of these poems. So the first one's called Show of Hands. I was going to have a prop for this one. Sorry. It's actually not really necessary, but anyway. Show of hands. Children, I was once barehanded and alone, weakly written, yet here I am throwing money into the air. The beard, the black hat, the open collar. Nobody's living a more fast-paced, serendipitous, procreative, for-content opportunity life than me. So fat and full of feathers, like a duck who breaks from the pack and waddles up the grass toward towels covered in bread to gaze on palms heavy with ham, and know the invisible hand is the hand of my own, and know the owner's hand will fill the garden, living room, dining room, and kitchen with yum. I know the hand that hangs in the diesel wake is also my hand, tipped by limitless neon, brighter than 1,000 cleavers, the hand that sews fringy bohemian bags in Szechuan and holds handles of frozen beef in a warehouse that leaks lead into Lake Huron, grips the refrigerator-sized load of latex, stretches the latex, cuts latex for gloves and magnums. I know the hand that hides the handgun inside the sleeve. Perhaps it is a 9mm you carry in that gray overcoat, pulled off the rack and handed to you by a hand that opens doors for the angel of death, cracked nail, blisters glowing fire red. Does working together matter? Bingo. The reason it doesn't work is because the global person Tim and the local person Tom don't get along. If Tim and Tom got along, the world would have its water cooler. The world needs a water cooler, and the masses need a stylist. Language is cathode ray, not a good sentence. But if you ask me what happened, I'll tell you what happened when I came to America. What happened? When I came to America, I couldn't speak English. I spoke Tarzan. I was basically homeless as a human being can be without being homeless. Matthew, P-Rod, Mike Weevil, they were playing basketball and they made me a fan, and it was my first US wish. I created a fairy tale in my head that I would buy the Lakers, and it became my happiness. Whether I buy them or not doesn't matter. My happiness is the fairy tale. Once upon a dime. Once upon a dime, in emerging markets far away, children saved from witches, snakes, and poison fruit could not be saved from mining coal, pounding maize, casting out beyond the reef to catch a larger eel. One weaves carpet beneath a ceiling near collapse, stands barefoot where no buses pass. One swings a machete, amputates her brother's finger. One squats in bitter water, sifts copper and cobalt. One serves the sweet shop, cuts cacao by firelight, the white moon's sugar spilled on one sold to slavers, one swallowed by brothels, tender slipped between islands and continents, interspersed, anonymous, lost on foot, hide and seek. Sweetie, it's just the wind. Go to sleep, cupcake. This last one's called Closed KFC. KFC stands for Kentucky Fried Chicken. No one sings for the franchise, nor for the glistening forehead above the register, the air motionless and heavy. The odor of skin does not ring a plastic fork. No one stands behind you. The bird that died last year will not cross the city in your teeth. Where biscuits rose noiselessly out of brown froth. Where prairie breast hunger bridged the freeway between strangers. Go, friend. Find fresh salt for your animal soul. And after the longing ensues, raise your wing before the multitude. Strip the bones. Swallow everything. Thank you. Okay, so, oh good. Okay, so it looks like first up is Ronald Jensen. Oh, there he is. I missed you for a second there.
Hi.
Hi, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
It's been real cool. Then and now. On Valentine's Day 5 years ago, it was the best. We went out for pizza, then all kind of west. Now we're bowling on a double date. Once again, it was so gay. The weather was then, the weather is now. You'll be Valentine. And that's a big wow. From Ronald and Rebecca. Ron got to live in a foster home in Holy 10th Ward. So begins this poem. Rebecca and Ronald lived at the same time in the same water sim, starting at age 9. Then Rebecca met Chad, and Ron met Kaylee. Now they both part of the same funny scene.
Chris Davis.
Okay, so I have one older poem that I just recently found again and really liked. It's actually from Gunsberg's class. And then two more recent poems that are first drafts that I just got a ton of really bad comments back from Michael Souter, but I'm going to read them as they are because I haven't revised yet. Apparently my poetry comes in either really weird situations or really depressing situations. So I'm going to start on the weird, go to depressing, come back to weird. Okay, this one's called Finding God. I found God. He was stuck in the lint trap of the dryer. I found God. He'd eaten the last of my fries when I went for a refill. I found God. He was 15% off on the clearance aisle. I found God. He ran into me in his hurry to catch the bus. I found God. He was looking in the window when I finished off the milk. I found God. He bit me in the woods. I found God. He was reciting poems to a fish pond. All right, this one is called Reflection After Bombing a Lesson in English 1010. And I apologize to my student who is here. Your chest crumpled in upon a hollow heart. This is how it feels to try your best and still fail. Hours pass, unflinching in the deep nights, unencumbered by the fact that you're 3 cups of stale coffee deep and only slept 6 hours of the last 72. Setting your plans with your students in mind, reshaping paragraph structure and misplaced modifiers into some potential inspiration. A burning enthusiasm for something loathed, like trying to catch a wet rag on fire. Yet even your best plan, brought forth from the ashes when a sudden bolt of enlightenment struck at 3 a.m., blazes and burns until it smolders pathetic on the floor, stamped out by your students who couldn't give a fuck less. There are no awards for trying. There is only failure or success. so your chest crumbles in upon a hollow heart until you try again. Back to the weird. This one's called Having Cut Someone's String on a Bus. 3 seats from the back door, where the bus vent indiscriminately blasts warm air onto passengers within reach. I sat bouncing along the road in time with the other passengers on the number 5 to North Logan and Cache Valley Hospital. A mundane passage of time, simply the transition between locations, until my eyes caught a frayed string reaching out from another rider's jacket, unraveling my day. The bus passed Mountain Logan Middle School, Green Gorilla Car Wash, and the abandoned one-stop auto sales lot, and still that string loomed there, a dangling shred of someone's life. I couldn't take it anymore. I took my keys and silently severed the twisted strand. The passenger got off just past the roundabout on 2nd North, having no idea their life had been edited by a stranger recklessly close in a public space. The bus and I ambled on, and still I held the string from their jacket between my guilty fingers.
Hi, I'm Amias, and 90% of the time that I read at Helicon West, which isn't as often as it should be, I write the poems while Helicon West is going on. So that's what happened today. I accidentally wrote a lot of haikus. And they all go together, they're on a theme, so I guess this is a poem made of haikus. Sleep deprivation. Brain fog, body off balance. Coffee doesn't help. Filed taxes today. Paid bills to my credit card to pay for later. Spring graduation. Half the degree I wanted, twice the mental cost. Job to job to job. I work in a cubicle. It has no windows. Engaged at 21 to the most wonderful man. I am also a man. Microwave dinners when I'm too tired to eat. I still make myself. Only 2 more months until I will be with him in a place with trees. Will moving make me happy, fulfilled, successful, less suicidal? Change will not fix me. My boyfriend cannot fix me, I remind myself. I cannot be fixed because I am not broken, I remind myself. In spite of the cane, in spite of the medicines, I am not broken. I can be happy. I can live the life I want. I'm just not there yet. This is exactly what half of media said adulthood would be, and half exactly what the media told me I could never have. Thank you.
Stephen?
Could you